Back to the channel. Now I've not done a tabletop review in quite a while, and this isn't even a review. This is coming from a conversation, a back and forth with my old mucker over in the US, Sean from Blind Sniper 9130, and we were discussing 9mm, or Wonder 9s rather. These are a very small selection of Wonder 9s that I have in my collection. And we were discussing kind of what is the best Wonder 9. So that's between two gun nerds, but I'm going to just talk now about Wonder 9s and what they are and how they came about. Now, the 9mm, that's it, the 9mm 9x19 Parabellum. It's not a new thing. It was developed during the Great War for the Parabellum 9P908. So it's been around since 1908. So it's going a long time. But this is it hasn't changed much in that 100 years. It was already a fantastic round when it was developed, and I think globally around the world, law enforcement and militaries have seen the advantages of 9mm. It's heavy enough. It's a heavy enough round. It's very fast moving. It's not bulky. I mean, the kind of first Wonder 9, really, if we can talk about Wonder 9s, is this one here. This is a Browning BAP, a Browning automatic pistol, or the Browning High Power, or the GP35, whichever you want to call it. But this was kind of the first of the Wonder 9s. It was 9mm. It was high capacity for its day. It was 13 rounds, whereas most other single stack magazines, they carried like 8, maybe 9 rounds. But this was for the time what they considered to be high capacity. It's very wide mag there, so you see it's kind of double stacked. Now this is the mag of the CZ, and this is the mag from the Beretta. But this is just a Denix. It's not a blank firing. It's just a Denix replica. I don't have a blank firing Browning, unfortunately, so we're going to make do with this. But anyhow, yeah, this is the Browning High Power, or GP35. But this is the kind of first of the Wonder 9s, and this was used on both sides. They were initially made in Belgium in the FN Herstal factory. Then that became the property of the little moustache guy. His paratroopers liked this pistol, and they wanted these. They were also being made, of course, in the UK, and they were being made in Canada, in Inglis, by Inglis in Canada. So the Allied forces also were using these. Must I tell you, when like everybody wants to use the same pistol, there must be something good about that pistol, and that's what was good about it. It took 9x19 Parabellum, 13 rounds, which was high capacity for the day, and it was a very, very reliable pistol. Initially designed by John Moses Browning, so you know it's going to be good, but it came to he passed away before it was completed. But it was completed by one of his proteges, a guy called Sauvé. Anyway, I think that's the way you pronounce his name, Sauvé. And he worked for FN Herstal. So that's all fine and well, fine and dandy. And 9mm pistols didn't change all that much, kind of in the 1940s up until the kind of late 1980s or kind of middle 1980s. When other manufacturers started offering kind of high capacity all steel pistols. This here is a CZ75. Now this did come along in 1975, but it wasn't available everywhere at this point in time. Czechoslovakia, it was Czechoslovakia, it wasn't the Czech Republic. Czechoslovakia was part of the Com bloc, and the Czechs, even though they were Com bloc, they didn't really like or use the firearms that the Soviets had were issuing. So they always kind of made their own. They made their own CZ82, which was kind of their version of the Makarov, only for better. Anyhow, they had offered this, the CZ75. You can tell kind of very, very closely based on the Browning. It's I wouldn't say it's a lot more reliable than the Browning, but it's definitely more reliable than the Browning. It runs with the rails on the slide runs on rails inside the frame, which is kind of unusual. Normally, the slide runs on rails that are outside the frame, but on these, the slide runs on rails which are inside the frame, which kind of makes it a little bit more accurate. You have less slide to grab a hold of to run the slide, unfortunately, but I don't think that matters too much. Very, very effective, very, very accurate pistol. And the Italians, not to be outdone. Now this is a model, Beretta Model 92. These have been around a long time. And the Italians kept kind of updating them, making them a little bit better, a little bit. I don't think they made the pistol itself better. I think they just improved the method and means of manufacturing. Just became a little easier. They were easier to make. But again, another high capacity 9mm pistol. It just takes 15 rounds in the 15 rounds in the mag. And again, the CZ 15 rounds in the mag, and the high power 14 rounds in the mag. Now there are higher capacity mags nowadays. I mean the Glock takes 17 rounds in its magazine. I think 17, 18 rounds is kind of standard nowadays for the polymer pistols. I deliberately didn't put any polymer pistols in this list because I don't think they are considered Wonder 9s. I think that people start calling them the kind of plastic fantastics when they start coming out. When Heckler and Koch brought out its first kind of polymer framed pistol. The Glock, of course, offered his polymer framed pistol, and that took off. And then now everybody's making polymer framed pistols. Even CZ, which are kind of famous for their steel pistols, but CZ are offering polymer framed duty pistols now as well in their P series, the P7 or P9. Again, 9mm and very, very, very high quality that you expect from CZ. But yeah, the Berettas, because these were made famous because they were adopted by the US military, replacing their 1911s. They stayed in service from the kind of 1980s up to very recently when they got replaced by the SIG. But again, the SIG, another 9mm pistol. It's 9mm. I think it's one of the polymer frame pistols as well. So it's kind of delivers the same kind of firepower, the same. You get the same, pretty much the same capacity, but a much lighter pistol. So the only way pistols really have changed, especially in the 9mm space, is they just got lighter. They haven't got better, perhaps, but what they've got is lighter, and that's kind of where people are going from now. So they were going from 9mm, a single stacked, kind of very limited capacity of 8, possibly 9 rounds. Then the high power kind of kicked open the door for higher capacity by coming up with their kind of double stacked magazine, double stacked single feed. So once that had happened, and people said, oh, the grip is not too bulky, it's not too wide, it's still fairly comfortable, fairly ergonomic. Other manufacturers start copying that and developing their own kind of double stacked magazines for use in their own pistols, and now kind of, lo and behold, I don't think anybody considers a duty pistol now unless it's a very, very minimum 15 round capacity. Not so much in the civilian land, of course, because here in Ireland 5 rounds is the most we can carry in a magazine. But for military and police service, yeah, I think that they're looking at kind of a minimum of 15, and from the offerings from Glock and from Walther and from SIG, they're all looking at around kind of 16 to 18 round capacity in their mags. Again, in 9mm, 9x19 Parabellum. So thank you very much for watching. Very short chat and yap about what we call Wonder 9s. So they're 9mm, all steel, high capacity pistols, which were taking over the duty sidearm space, and now they haven't become better, but they've become lighter thanks to polymers. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Any comments, put them down below. I'll talk to you again soon.